Welcome to this part of the symposium, which has the title IWO Psychology, Australian Experiences, Our Future and Global Perspectives. What we're going to see in the next few slides is a description of something that has been released here in Australia recently, the Australian Handbook for Careers in Psychological Science, and we will highlight the IWO Psychology chapter that we've created within that handbook. So the overarching goal of the handbook is to make psychological science the hero, to really show the importance of understanding the scientific foundations of psychology. We also believe that explaining to students that psychological literacy is virtually the key outcome of an undergraduate degree, and that they need to think about the application of their knowledge at all times. We believe that the employability skills confidence is a critical factor in whether students move readily into employment. So this is also featured through this handbook, as well as the career decision-making process. In fact, there's a whole chapter just on the career decision-making process and how to go about making good decisions. We believe students need to develop their professional identity and to make psychological science really at the core of that professional identity. And we are interested in the impact of different career resources like this handbook on students' work readiness and their career outcomes. So this is some of the bigger goals as well. Finally, in the last line, you'll see the amazing uptake already of this wonderful resource. And we'll talk a little bit more about the impact that it's having. So the structure of the handbook is similar to the Canadian handbook in that we've taken the same topic areas. The 15 chapters cover the same topics, and that includes chapters around careers in psychological science, processes, career development processes, models, etc., the kind of research methods that students typically encounter, and then we focus on areas like psychology and law in Australia and psychology in the military. We also have a number of resources, including case studies and career conversations. And these are generally interviews. Some of them are written, but generally interviews, and they're hosted on YouTube. So we've just got an example below, which you can click on and listen to. So our chapter in the handbook, and this is the chapter that Peter McQueen and I have created specifically for the Australian context, covers those topics that are listed there. So we want to talk much more and have a conversation that's an ongoing one around our professional identity, and we believe industrial work and organisational psychology is the most inclusive term and the best way to promote that conversation from here. Obviously, we cover issues around what IWO psychologists and people with IWO psychology training do and where they work, brief history, issues around ethical practice, evidence-based practice, and unpacking a bit more about that, some of the research methods that are used to support the evidence base, what educational requirements are currently in place and some discussion around those. We also look at examples of IWO psychology in Australia from 8 fantastic leaders in various areas, some of the challenges and opportunities that we are facing, maybe a bit about the employment prospects and also future direction. So we cover a nice range of topics in our handbook chapter. So as I mentioned, we have a number of resources for students to take advantage of, and 2 are shown here. So the first one is Nathan, who works in the resources sector, and he explains his role in the organisational development analytics area. And then the second one is Madison, who is working in construction. So these are available on YouTube, and if you're interested, you'll be able to just click on either of those interviews and listen to them now. So just to remind you, the overall goal is that this handbook would become available to all students who are interested in or studying psychology across Australia, all undergraduate students in particular. And what we aim to do is to continue to collect data and help evaluate the impact of different career resources on students' progress. Now, when I say progress, what we're particularly interested in are students' views of their psychological literacy, and we're working on measures that will be able to capture that, as well as their perceptions of employable skills, self-efficacy, because these are key factors in determining students' ability to apply their psychological knowledge. Our framework of thinking about this has been articulated in the Spencer article, which talks about psychological workforce literacy and the progressive development of students' capabilities and confidence in their career plans. So in addition to particular resources, the suggestion is a number of career-focused courses with opportunities for experiential learning and faculty mentoring all contribute towards this progressive development of psychological workforce literacy. In another paper that's been released recently in InPsych, we talk about how the employability of psychology graduates is a combination of several factors, not just academic achievements, but your sense of identity, which is very important, your ability to apply psychological knowledge and understanding, which is the essence of psychological literacy, and confidence in your employability skills. So we understand that our handbook will help support students, particularly undergraduates, in developing this broad perspective about how psychological science can be applied. Students learn about career search strategies, what careers are available to them with a psychology major, and some of the many ways in which psychological science is applied to the opportunities and challenges that we're facing. There are so many good examples of how an understanding of psychology can make an impact on different fields, and this was an example that was presented at another conference in 2021, where Jackie Taylor from the UK was explaining that psychology graduates are uniquely placed to work in the cybersecurity industry due to this combination of understanding human behavior, as well as the skill set that is effective in helping to deal with cybersecurity issues. So it's exciting to see the range of opportunities that are available. Thank you for attending to this part of the presentation, and if you have any questions, my email is there. There's also a link, tinyurl.com/Machin IWOP, which will allow you to download a copy of the slides. Thank you.